like a goddamn be crack addict. You feel me? We sold couches, baby. Yeah, how you doing, dog? How you been? How you been this week? I ain't talked to you a whole lot.
I mean, it's the struggles, stressing about money.
You're struggling. Okay. Well, hey. And that'll happen sometimes because we were actually all fucking sick through the holidays. We had the flu, so Peyton didn't work for like a week and a half. And then like you buy a bunch of Christmas presents, and then like right after Christmas you don't get fucking paid like you thought you were gonna get paid.
Yeah.
And then I got they hit me with some real big taxes at the last check at work to like taxing some bonus bullshit. And so yeah, it was like some back to back, not that good of money, and you're like, okay, that hurts. But we're shaking back, we're rolling with the punches. We're shaking back.
The weather, and I didn't work for the first half of that week for the weather.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bruh. And then I could have went in on like Saturdays and Sunday, but she was like, "No, don't do that." I was like, "All right."
No, son, I've been using the fuck out of some PTO, son. I've been using it up. You know what I mean? Every company I work for, y'all gonna pay me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if I leave, y'all gave me like y'all gave me days and I wasn't even there. And that's kind of, y'all gotta hold that L. Furniture Row gotta hold that L. I don't know, we might bleep that. I don't know. You know what I mean?
No.
Fuck them. They seem litigious, son. What a cult. Yes. What a cult of people.
Yes.
Well, fuck, dude, I'm doing pretty good. I bought a fire hydrant yesterday.
Huh?
Bought a fire hydrant yesterday. A Jewish guy sold it to me. I can say that because he goes by Jew Chains. Do you remember Jew
like
Chains?
An actual fire hydrant?
The yellow one. Yeah, it's not plugged in. I don't have anything running to the city or nothing. I don't know if I can legally even say I bought one like that, but. He got it from a guy whenever he was training for strongman stuff. He was training out like this weird like storage unit with this dude, and he had a whole bunch of random weights and like random just heavy, oddly shaped shit just to fucking pick up.
Yeah.
And so he brought it over like a year or two ago. He came over. My boy Andrew Mendoza came over. Shouts out Check Damage on Twitch or something. Twitch or TikTok or some shit like that. Shouts out that boy Andrew Mendoza. But. He fucking came over, we did some bag work, and I was like, hey, bring something heavy and weird to pick up. And he came and fucking pulls up in this little car and like comes out and like drags a fire hydrant out of the back. And I was like,
are they that heavy?
Dude, it's like, I don't know how, I'd hate to put like a number on it. It's heavy though. It's also just cumbersome. It's just weird.
It's shaped weird.
It's shaped weird as fuck. And the way we picked it up that day, we had it like on the side and just like grabbed like the knot, the little bolt up front, and then grabbed the lip on the bottom and just kind of like awkwardly like deadlifted it. And then we did some heavy bag work. And I told him right there, I was like, bro, I want this. How much would you sell it? And he was like, son, I'd never get rid of the fire hydrant. And then he texted me the other day and he's like, hey, I got a random flash sale. They're like destroying all the houses in my neighborhood and I got to sell all my weights because I got to move to Monticello or some shit. So,
where did he live at?
He was living in Little Rock, worked in an apartment. And he like sent me a video. They're like bulldozing his neighbor's house. He's like, I'm like, goddamn, bro, they're coming for you. They gave y'all no time. So, he started like listing off shit, like plates that he had in sandbags, and I was like, hey, you know what I want. You know what the fuck I want. And he's like, bro, I'll sell you the fire for $50. And I said, hey, $70 if you'll deliver it, my guy.
Yeah.
He fucking pulled up, dude. Pulled up with this little chihuahua on deck, fucking brought the hydrant. So I'm looking forward to programming that into some workouts, lifting that fucker in the backyard, doing some shit.
That's all I gotta get out there is I gotta get some more mats and then one more bag. And then just some more weights, and then I'll be everything out there every time. I almost bought some ropes yesterday. Had a woman, she had selling ropes for $20, brand new.
Oh fuck yeah!
And I was just like, I don't want to go there. It wasn't right down the street, but I just didn't want to get out.
I feel that.
I was like, screw it.
I almost got some ropes earlier. I got a little fucking Academy Sports gift card, and so I was up there and I saw some battle ropes and almost got them. They were like $70, $60 or some shit like that. And I was like, okay,
no, that's not that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but I was like, all right, man, that's kind of like half the gift card I got. You know what I mean? So,
Right. And so I got notes, just a little bit of notes for every fight that happened. Starting with, so it was the person who the way I got it listed out was the person who won, how they won, and then just a little bit of notes based off of it.
Just on the main card.
I did all of them.
Okay, you went top to bottom.
Just to make sure if you had a point, I can say, okay, well, yeah, I saw that happen. Like Jimmy Flick. I like Jimmy Flick.
I like Jimmy Flick. Jimmy Flick's mean as fuck.
And
I'm not gonna lie to you, where I watched it at, we like I said, we were sick through the holidays, so we ended up we just now did Christmas with my all the in-laws side.
Right.
So we were in Monticello. We fucking and their Wi-Fi sucks shit. So I was kind of like in a back bedroom watching it, and it kept cutting. It cut out like 4 times during the main event. So I rewatched the main event today to try to get it cut out in the co-main a couple times, which that I guess really wasn't as bad.
Yeah, that was a tough fight to watch.
That was, and dude, I was getting snoozy, brother. I had a little crossfade and I was drinking a little vodka, and so yeah, I was getting tired. But then the main event when it cut out the fourth time, and then it cut out at the very end before they announced the decision, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. I saw the fight. I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'll figure out who won it tomorrow. So when I went to sleep, I thought Sean Strickland won, which I guess we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so honestly, I did not take notes during the entire fight, and some of the fights before it was kind of cutting out, backing out. So I might not have as much of a great recollection, but I'll try to go off the notes that you have. Kind of jogged my memory back. Jimmy Flick fought. What was the gentleman's name? He was a Florida guy or a Canadian.
It was a
Canadian guy. Yeah. Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm
and I thought, and in my heart, I thought Gordon was going to win. I was like, he's kind of a bad dude. I like Jimmy Flick, but I wanted Jimmy Flick to win.
Yeah.
But I thought Gordon was going to win, and
Gordon was doing good. He was ragdolling him around, if memory serves,
and
kind of throwing him around, and then Flick rallied. Yeah, arm triangle. Okay, yeah, because he went for the triangle choke, or went for the triangle. I think he also went for a Von Flew because of the Von Flick at the end of the first, and he said he was gurgling. But ended up getting with the arm triangle.
And I
like that show. It's a good show.
I liked seeing him win. That was I didn't care who won that, but I do like. And then Jimmy Flick said something like, "I'm a mix between who do you say Khabib and." He said, "I'm a mix between Khabib and somebody else." Can't remember who he said, but two just. He said, if Khabib and this person had a baby, it'd be me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah,
Okay.
I missed that part. I remember him saying something. He was giving his dad some gloves, and I was like, well, that's sweet. He's like, because what did he say? He was going to give him his last ones, and he got beat up or something? Or he lost the fight?
Yeah, I think
He's going to give him, or I don't know if he said that he lost the fight or if the fight got canceled or some shit like that. I feel like, though, like, if you get your ass whooped, you're like, I ain't going to give you these gloves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Gotta give you, but those are some good gloves to give off. That was a dope submission. We need to pull it up. We should do a fucking little bit where we could do like submission of the night, knockout of the night, fight of the night type thing.
And see, I put in my notes. I put who I thought won fight of the night.
Fair enough. Would you give Jimmy Flick submission of the night? I don't think that I would. I think if I'm remembering all the submissions that happened, I mean, Flick, I'm not trying to shit on Flick, but you know what I'm saying.
There was.
I think that off the top of my head, I would go submission of the night. What was the gentleman's name? He moved from 55 up to welterweight. If white guy, redheaded dude,
Patterson.
What's his first name? Is it Brandon Patterson? Something like that. Sam Patterson.
Sam Patterson.
Sam Patterson.
I didn't write down any of the first names. I just did last name.
Okay. Let me look that up just super quick, just so I don't look like a jackass. We can cut this part. But Sam Patterson, UFC. Not IFC. Yeah. Sam Patterson's UFC debut. Blah blah blah. Yeah, him. That's probably who I would give submission of the night to personally. We'll talk about that one in a second, but yeah, I mean, he really cut to that dude like a fucking hot knife to butter. Just took him down, sunk the rear naked choke in. He fought the White Lion, I believe is homeboy's nickname. Another Canadian dude. By the way, Canadians went. I want to say it was 7-0 in Toronto. Was it or no Vancouver when they fought like a year ago or the last time they went dominated. And Mike Malott, if I'm not wrong, was the last Canadian on that card, and he fucking closed the show in big fashion.
And then I think
he's the last Canadian on this card, and they go 0-7. Not a single male fighter from Canada won. Female Canadians might have gone undefeated. They might have swept, but all male Canadians fucking lost back to back.
I saw where the Canadians got pieced up.
But okay, so next fight after Flick. I didn't mean to jump ahead with the Sam Patterson bit.
I'm gonna say her name is Jasuda.
Jasdavicius?
Yes.
Jasmine Jasdavicius, and she
Anaconda choke, bullied her. It's what I got. She
Cachoeira?
Yes.
Beat the fucking brakes off Cachoeira.
She was just.
So, because there was two things. So you heard that there was issues with the weight, right?
Yes.
She kept wanting to fucking renegotiate. Let's do 32. Let's do 30. You know, whatever. They kept climbing up for whatever reason. Which I didn't know. I don't know when she did that. Was that like 2 weeks out? Was it a month out? Was it like on fight week she was negotiating new stuff?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if you negotiated 4 new weights, like that appears like every couple weeks you're texting them.
Right.
And I mean, maybe she had an injury in fight camp, but at that point, just pull out. I don't know if it's a thing where like, or I don't know if it was just lack of discipline.
Or if you and see, I saw you could also the commentators they were saying this. They said typically when you miss weight, you don't get a bonus. But there was one fight where somebody missed weight, and they were like this. Oh, I think it was the Saidi fight, Saidi and the other guy.
Yeah.
They were like this right here could be fight, and that's what I had that
fight of the night. And then because I agree, they said if a dude misses weight, because City missed by like no, City didn't miss.
It was the other. It was
Tavares. Tavares, I think he missed by like 3 pounds. Like a big
Tavares won, split decision.
Big miss, not good. But they had said, yeah, if it was fight of the night, that they deserved 100, like both sides of the bonus. I agree with that. If you're gonna fight a, you agree to fight a dude that missed weight, you guys bang it out like that, have fight of the night. Win or loss, dude, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna get fight of the night in a fight where you got your fucking ass whooped. So like, in my opinion, I agree with that. I'm sure Dana takes care of him to some degree. We'll get to the Tavares
even though he.
But Jazz Devicius, dude.
Yeah, peace stroke.
Dude, you can almost give her performance of the night.
Right.
You know, because the submission wasn't a submission that I would give submission of the night to. But dude, she beat the shit as she punished her. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the thing is, that's happened to Cachoeira twice now. Because it happened to her the first time with Valentina Shevchenko.
Yep.
When Valentina made her debut, it was like 300 strikes to 3 or some nuts so shit like that.
I think they said after like one round it was like 30-1 or something like that. It was something crazy.
Dude, I took a picture at one point. It was like 244 to 3, and I was like, "Yo, get the strap after that, bro." Yeah. I'm spinning the block if someone beats my ass that bad. I gotta take someone you love. You know what I mean? God damn, bro, because you took memories like that. And realistically, when you really think about it, dude, took like a year off her life probably. You know what I mean? Like if she was gonna make it to 80, that's 79 now, dude.
Right.
Jazz Devicius and dude Shevchenko a lot more than that because Shevchenko did her bad because she would rock her on the feet. She would crack her on the feet, and then when she would wobble her, she would immediately just shoot in body lock, take her down. She wouldn't even trade with her, and so she would get on her with just elbowing her. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like Mazzagatti or somebody was the ref, and I think that might be the fight that he said I wanted to let her go out on her shield like a warrior, and they're like, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. God damn it, Dana had been trying to get that dude out for a minute, and he said that dumb shit, and he's like, cool, you wanted to let her die is what you're saying. He's like, yeah, I'm the guy that's there to make sure they're safe, and I wanted to let her die. You know what I mean? To be, she's a warrior. You know, I don't know. Yeah, wild shit. She got ran through. Jazz Devicius, I'm sure, where's she at in the rankings? Where does, yes, it don't matter. I'm not we're not gonna, deep dive all the prelims. But yeah, no, super impressive. And she's been on a little hot streak lately, if I've not been mistaken. Yes. She might have, I don't think she's lost very recently at all.
I think she's won three or 4 in a row. Yeah, I think is what it's.
I would say it's probably time, a step up in competition. Jazz Devicius or Cachoeira is not bad, but she is a bit of a brawler. You know what I mean? If you can kind of take her down and control her, there was kind of some fun scrambles where she tried to get out, but it just kept getting worse. She just got drained. She got bullied on. She never quit. She's tough as fuck. Wait, no. Yeah. I was about to say that was somebody else. That was co-main event. That's the person that ended the round. We'll get on that. We'll get to that.
So next was Robertson, TKO.
Robertson.
Put their hands on her. Jillian Robertson.
Fuck. Who did she fight? She fought Polyana. Is it Viana? Polyana Viana?
That sounds right.
That's the little Brazilian mama that fucking beat that dude's ass at the bus stop because he was like, "Give me your cell phone." You remember that?
No, I don't.
Oh, brother, no, you got to look this up. She let me pull it up real quick and I'll show you. She's at the bus stop.
Okay.
Polyana Viana. Fuck, I'm fucking this up. She's at the bus stop, and she lives in Brazil. I believe this happened in Brazil. At the bus stop, yeah, it'll pull up, yeah. And this dude comes up to her and pulls, I think, a knife on her, or he pretended to have a gun. One of these two things, and he tells her to give him her cell phone. He's trying to like rob her, and because this is her, you know what I mean? This is the girl. Dude, so she immediately kicks him in his fucking head.
Jesus.
And then proceeds to beat his goddamn ass and like holds him down until the authorities get there. Absolutely ran through his shit, dude. 10-7 round. And yeah, so that's kind of like her thing. Ever since then, I've kind of fucked with her. She's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she did kind of get pieced up. I think there was like some bad blood. They seemed like they were talking a little spicy.
I think even afterwards they were still like not. They didn't really want to hug
Jillian Robertson has been training at Goat Shed the last couple fights. You fuck with Goat Shed? You see any of their stuff on Instagram?
No.
They're kind of going viral. They've had a couple little clips go viral. They're just like a real crazy gym out of Miami, Florida. You should check them out on Instagram. And I think that Goat Shed, like goat, like greatest of all time, Shed. I believe they're based out of Miami. I really think that within the next year or two, we're going to start seeing a lot more of their guys. They have a lot of dudes in the lighter weight classes. But if you want to just have crazy sparring sessions and real, kind of wild shit, they got a couple dudes I think that are welterweights, middleweight, kind of bigger dudes, a big gym kind of fucker. But bunch of lighter guys that have a lot of talent that are coming up. I think we'll start seeing them pop up on the Contender Series. There might have already been a dude or two on the Contender Series. So, yeah, just kind of a fun little note. Since she's moved over there with them, she's kind of picked up a little bit more of the swagger. She's been on a good streak as well lately. So, yeah, really, really dominant victory. Good for her.
We actually went past Sam Patterson. Jillian Robertson was after Sam Patterson.
Yeah,
but it was Johan Lainez.
Yeah. No, dude, Sam Patterson looked great.
Yeah.
Just ran through him. Dude, he's big as fuck. He's big. It was at welterweight, correct?
Yes, 170.
Yeah. It's wild that dude ever made 55.
When he first came out, I was like, oh, he looks good. And they were like, I was like, man, he's fixing to come out there and just show out. And he did. He did. He looked from start. Looked great.
It was short. It was like a minute or two, wasn't it? But not a very long fight, if I memory serves.
So it was round 1, 2 minutes 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So quick.
Yeah, good shit. I'm excited to see him against some. Dude, welterweight's kind of the thing with welterweight is it's a thing where like for a while there was the whole like Colby was in like a top 3 and like hadn't fought nobody, and Jorge was kind of up there. There was a bunch of dudes in the top that hadn't beaten other top dudes, you know. But they're slowly filling up with a bunch of really fun guys coming up. Ian Gary, you got this guy, you know. There's a bunch of fun.
Ian Gary.
Yeah, and he's got a fight coming up. Yeah. He was talking some mad shit about the 185ers. Ian Gary is
no, he's not. It's Sean Brady.
He's fighting Jeff Neal.
Yeah,
I think he was talking shit about Strickland versus DDP, saying like,
and John Strickland was like, "Bruh, don't even get me started on this man." Don't even. I was like, okay, yeah, don't. Yeah, he's crazy, and they said that his spot he's turned up to. They were comparing him to like Conor level of fans are watching him.
Yeah, he is blowing up. Conor level.
I'm happy. You know I mean? I'm happy that he's blowing up because he don't care what he says.
No, I like Sean. I think that it was a thing where at first he was saying crazy shit, and he blew up during during COVID. He blew up during the fights of the Apex. You could hear him talking. You're like, this guy's talking crazy, bro. The Jack Marshman fight really blew him up. Fucking, why don't you fall, Jack? Like, I'm gonna give you a second to win. Fucking just standing and banging. So like he's like the average person. He's like, you know what I mean? Like the average Joe's guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he says some wild shit. I don't agree with everything that he says. I agree with some of the shit that he says though. You know what I mean? So but you know, they're trying to cancel him. That girl on TikTok came out and fucking did her thing. Did you see that after his back and forth at the press conference with that guy?
Yeah.
I'm an ally of the community. You know what I mean?
It's not gonna.
She was like, TikTok, time to do your thing. And I was like...
And then somebody said something to Dana. They were like, you put him on a leash. He said, I don't put anybody on a leash. I don't know what you're talking about. He said, this is freedom of speech. Say whatever he wants to say. He said, maybe I should go to my next question. He said, maybe you should. Maybe you shouldn't speak anymore.
Maybe you should. Move it on. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just a thing where, like, we're all tired of cancel culture any goddamn way, but especially, like, this is cage fights. It's hard to... Now, I don't know. There's got to be a line somewhere, you know? Like, if he said the N-word hard R, you'd have to be like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's Dana, I mean, you know?
And Dana said he doesn't like it when you start bringing families into it.
I was going to say, Conor said some shit, dude, talking about Khabib's wife being a towel. Like, now you're crossing into lines of, like, religious views and, like...
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff, but I don't know, like, if there's not a line there, then I don't know if, like, a racial slur... I guess that depends. Different people are offended by different things more or less. I don't think racial shit's cool at all, but I find it... I'm not Muslim, but I just find it disrespectful to bring religion, whether it's yours or not, you know, into it.
Especially when you have that much star power, somebody could really pull up on you at any point in time.
Hey, dude, don't fuck with the Muslims, bro. And I'm not even making like a terrorist thing, bro. No, they just don't fuck with that. Like they are
stuff like that.
They are about it. Like it's in terms of like loyalty and like real discipline to their craft and their religion. Yeah. Muslims take it to a different level. There's a lot of like little bullshit. Like I go to church on Easter. Christians. Muslims they're operating differently, brother. They're not eating during Ramadan. You know what I mean? Like they keep a company. They know what they pray in a certain direction, dog. That's different.
Like Hezbollah, they said Hezbollah doesn't talk to women. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He does. Well, that other guy doesn't eat. He hadn't eaten sugar in 10 years.
Yeah. Fuck, who was that?
He's the guy that.
Mozart, I think. Yeah. Said no sugar until I'm a world champion.
Yeah.
What a fucking dog, dude. What a dog.
It's crazy.
What a dog. Feel like a pit bull. What a dog. You know what I mean? All right, fucking okay. So next fight, who we have after Patterson and Robertson?
The Saidi and Tavares. So this was their fighting again. They fought once.
It's called the Contender Series fight.
Yeah,
early stoppage. Weird.
In my opinion, Saidi won. I thought I had 2-1, and to me it was fight of the night. It was a banger. Tavares did win, but I thought I wasn't mad that Tavares won. I just thought Saudi threw more punches and kept going. He kept pressure. He kept active, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, super close fight. I think I also had a 2-1 Saudi. I believe it's City. I also had a 2-1 when I watched it live. I want to say. Wasn't mad that Tavares won. I think that I might have been giving City, and I'll do this sometimes and I shouldn't, but if a guy fights a dude that missed weight in a super close round, I'll almost give it to the dude that made the weight and decided, you know, maybe that's fair, maybe that's not fair. I guess that's not in the rules. So, like, you know, but how I judge a fight isn't always goddamn how the rules are, how they judge a fight. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to just say who I feel like won a fucking fight. You know what I mean? And scoring it round by round still, but I would kind of, the way that people do like the champions advantage, you got to beat the champ to be the champ. You know, I see that, and I feel like, you know, in a close fight, giving it to a dude that actually made the weight, maybe that was where I saw the 2-1. Maybe if I rewatched it a little bit less biased, you know, that might be a little.
See, another thing about that, like they were talking about the commentators. They were like, so you're supposed to score it round by round, but they scored off damage, and they were like, what happens if you get a cut? And one of the commentators, I can't remember who said it.
It was Cruz.
I think it was either. I think he said it. He was like, you score it based off that round because he got the cut in that round. You don't score the next round because he's bleeding. Yeah, because you already had the cut.
But that's tough. They don't. It's very hard not to do visually, and I think that affected the Strickland fight to some degree as well. He got
headbutted. They didn't say anything about it. He got headbutted. They didn't know.
And that's what was confusing because we'll get the Strickland. I'm getting ahead of myself.
So next is Woodson and Jourdain. I was hoping Jourdain was going to win. I don't hate either one of them, but I like Jourdain more. Yeah. And I was like, I hope Jourdain wins this. And then it was a split decision. Could have went either way. I wasn't mad that Woodson won, but I was wanting Jourdain to win.
I thought it was a pretty clear 2-1 Woodson. I also wanted Jourdain to win when I was doing my picks and stuff, but I like both guys a lot, and I like Woodson. He's a big motherfucker. He used to box at heavyweight.
Awkward. Yes, I saw that.
Big cat, real weird, dude. He just has a real traditional boxing, but a real swagger to how he throws his hands, how he does those weird little like hand feints before he throws, and he's so fucking big.
I remember him getting on that slam. He had that slam knockout. He picked the dude up, had his arms on his chest, and boom, and knocked that dude out.
You talking about?
It was I think 3 fights ago, probably.
Okay, I'm trying to remember who that would have been. Let's pull his.
He slammed him.
Let's pull his record up real quick.
And it might have been his UFC debut. I'm really not sure.
Sean Woodson.
Yeah.
Because I remember who else had something like that. Monkey King had something like that.
Is that not him?
That little gay boy? No, Sean Woodson is like the sniper.
They look the same.
Sean,
he is the sniper. Yeah, no, that wasn't my. I'm confusing them.
Yeah, because he slammed. Who was that? It was like Matt Lindland or somebody like that, and Matt Wineland. Fucking some. I don't know. It was nasty.
You're right.
But yeah, no, that was definitely.
I think 2 cards ago there was 2 fights back to back that had
slam knockouts. That was crazy. That was crazy. I don't remember who those were exactly, but no, that was super impressive. Man, I'm a big fan of Woodson. He's just slick. Good luck getting to that dude. I mean, he's so big. When you have somebody that's boxing that is that comfortable in that boxing range and that slick with putting their punches together, it's just so hard to get on the inside of a guy like that. He's so crafty, you know. So I definitely, I don't think either one of those guys were ranked. Were they? Was that an unranked fight?
I think it was unranked. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, no, I'm always interested to watch Woodson. Always like seeing that guy get matched up. That's 45, right?
Woodson was featherweight, yes.
Yeah.
And the next one, Armfield versus Katona. I do not like Brad Katona. I do not.
Here's my thing, bro. When I watched him the first, he was on the Ultimate Fighter twice. First time he was on, I liked it. I was like, Brad Katona, cool dude. Dude, second time.
And he
such
won.
a different guy.
And Brad, my allegiances lie with Brad Katona.
Yeah.
That's how he said his own name, real weird. And
then the whole time he was like, I really want to be on Team Connor, but I'm gonna stay loyal to my team. And then he swapped to Team Connor.
Yeah.
And then I was
the diva. It was kind of like, actually, I thought that here's what I would do today. And it's like, hey, actually, I thought you'd shut the fuck up and do what we said. You know what I mean? Like, they were like beefing real hard. Chandler was like, yeah, what the fuck are we doing here? And he was like, yeah, no, I'm actually gonna drill. And it's like, damn, and Chandler was like, Chandler did not know what to do. He's like, bro, what are we doing? I'm like, fucking come on, he's the coach, bro.
Should have just pieced him up.
Yeah, you big ass dude. Should have just wrestled with him. I don't know. You know,
I was happy that as bad as fucked up as that is, I was happy that he lost, in my opinion, and he did lose. It was close.
It was a very close fight.
They said unanimous. I thought it was a little closer than unanimous, but
yeah, I thought that Armfield got it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it was a very close fight. It was a thing where they fought very similar in terms of their output. Brad Katona was a little tighter with his technique, and it seemed like Armfield was a little bit looser, a little bit kind of throw from the hip at times,
Yeah.
and kind of. But I don't know. Yeah, no, interesting clash of styles.
I mean, Katona was constantly throwing, which made me. At first, I was like, oh, he won that because he was pushing pace more, throwing more, and I was like, oh, he probably won that. But I did think that Armfield. I was happy that he won.
Yeah, same.
Now the next one, I was actually very surprised at how it went. It's the Evlev and Arnold Allen. I like Arnold Allen. I like him a lot.
Yeah, no, I like both dudes a lot.
And I hate his last two fights. I think it was last two.
Yeah, him and Holloway.
Yeah, he got bullied by Max.
Max put it on him. Maxed him.
Yeah.
Max did max him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you gonna
And
say?
then I just thought he was going to do better in this fight, but he really just kind of got sunned again.
I mean, it was good. There was good moments. He's a scrambly motherfucker, and I think out of a lot of other dudes in that division, he gets taken down like that, and he Granby rolls and he scrambles like he did. He gets out. Movsar's a different animal, dude. I have been telling people since his first fight. I was like, yo, that's a fucking problem. I was like, yo, problems coming up. Movsar and Ilya.
Yeah.
Where's Ilya at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's doing Ilya shit. Movsar is doing Movsar shit.
Yeah.
If those two dudes, like, I mean, I'm not trying to get ahead of anything, but like, in a world where like Ilya, maybe if he beats Volk, is able to defend it, and Movsar wins another fight or two, like, he just beat Arnold Allen. Who else are you having to beat after that? Max is about to fight at 55.
I think
you know what I mean?
Allen was number
Dude, like 3 or 4 or something. Let me pull up the rankings real quick.
I think he was 4.
Yeah, he was not very far off. Let me see, because they're not going to update until Tuesday, so these are still what they were coming into this. At featherweight, Arnold Allen was number 4, Brian Ortega was 3, and Movsar was number 9 coming into
so
this.
He's going to take that number 4.
Updated.
He's going to take that number 4.
He for sure should take number 4. Number 3 ahead of him is Brian Ortega, who I saw a stat the other day. Khabib has a more recent win than Brian Ortega. Khabib retired like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he did go.
It's just weird that he's number 3, and I love Brian Ortega. You know what I mean? Nothing would make me.
Isn't he fighting Yair?
I believe is what I saw. Yeah, Yair Rodriguez at the end of February, who is number 2. Max Holloway is going up to 55 to fight Gaethje. I don't know if he's planning on staying there. He is fighting Gaethje. That's right at 55.
For the BMF.
Hate that for him. We'll talk about that one sooner or closer to the 300 card. Hate that for him, brother.
I don't hate it because he's got a chin.
Anyone here that don't like it, real quick, go watch his fight versus Dustin, and I'll go rewatch that. Maybe I remember that card way wrong. I remember it.
No, Dustin pieced him up.
I remember Max at one point, like the 4th or 5th round, when like Dustin stands up and kind of points at the ring. Max is a dog. I love Max. Huge Max fan. This is why I don't like the fight.
That was kind of early. That was some years ago.
Yeah, and he took it on short notice.
I think he was still sparring at that. I know he doesn't spar. He just goes out and fights.
I just don't want. He's got to fight. You know who else goes out and fights? Justin Gaethje. I don't know. I just worry about it. We'll get to it close to 300. I just worry about his lack of power versus a guy like Gaethje. And Gaethje's like, all right, hit me then, motherfucker. I feel like if he feels Max not have dangerous power, he's not going to hit as hard as Chandler. You know what I mean? Max Holloway's not hitting as hard as Chandler or Dustin Poirier or Eddie Alvarez, and he's gone to war with all those dudes. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just don't want it to look like a Tony Ferguson type fight.
The only thing that I can say Max has going for him is Dustin doesn't hit. I mean, he hits hard, but he doesn't hit as hard as Chandler, Gaethje. You know those fights.
Yeah, they're different.
And when Dustin beat Gaethje up the first time, he just didn't stop putting it on him.
He just has a certain volume and a pace.
Can keep a volume on him like he did in the fights that he's broke records for most.
Yeah.
I mean, he got a pretty
chin. He just doesn't get tired, and it's just like
he doesn't.
And I just don't see the way Max's volume piles up on dudes at 45. I don't know if it piles up on Gaethje at 55.
Yeah, it's a
great fight though, and we got plenty of time to talk that one. But Movsar, speaking of just where he's at in the rankings, dude, I think he's taking that number 4 spot, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%. That's what they've been doing the last few times. They've been giving the person.
I don't think that it necessarily is Movsar gets a title shot next. I mean, beating a dude like Arnold Allen, you're definitely knocking on the door.
I think what they would have to do is they would probably, let's say if Ilya doesn't win, Movsar will go next, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah.
Because Volk beat Yair recently.
Depending on what Max wants to do, because he's talked about moving to 55.
I could actually see him if let's say Brian beats Yair. I could see him fighting Brian again because Brian almost choked him out twice. I could see Volk doing that, but if he doesn't want to do that, it would be Movsar next. If Ilya wins, they're gonna give him an immediate rematch. Unless he knocks him out.
Yeah, and that would be tough because he's kind of coming off of two losses, correct? He lost back to Islam. He didn't come back down to 45 and get a win between it, did he?
I don't think so.
That's tough.
I can't remember. I think he's back to back.
Okay, that is tough.
And
but I mean, he's like the greatest at that weight class, arguably. So if he loses to Ilya, it's hard to not give him an immediate rematch. Right. But if he does get starched out,
if he got kicked,
that's tough.
Again,
that's tough.
Then...
So I think dude, you could argue that Movsar really has just one more fight up top. If they can find someone, even if it's somebody a little bit below him, if he has to fight backwards, like you could argue Josh Emmett Movsar after Emmett just did that to Bryce. Honestly, dude, yeah. That sounds like a great goddamn fight. Josh Emmett versus Movsar.
Poor Bryce.
You know what I mean? In the meantime, while things are kind of clearing out, that I will say is the saddest.
He's out for. He said he's on concussion protocol. He said he's going to be out at least 6 months.
Good.
He hit him with a sledgehammer.
That was fucking sad. The knockout itself, a good knockout.
Right.
The seizure made it a scary knockout. Like the post, the flopping.
He hit him so hard.
Dog.
Like a
That's terrifying.
cast iron
That's terrifying. That's one of those reminders where it's like, hey, it's not a game. Motherfuckers might die in here.
It's
you know
crazy because how hesitant Bryce was. He's not ever that hesitant. He's usually, let me go ahead and get this first shot out. If he just shot, you eliminate that overhand right off the
but you open up that uppercut. There's a different game there. Yeah. Shooting in. Because he came out afterwards in an Instagram video and was saying, like, I know where I fucked up. I didn't go in enough. And I was like, I don't know. I think there might, you know what I mean? Like, you kind of went in and he went in. Like, dude, Josh Emmett's just going to do Josh Emmett. So it's, I'm not saying, like, your strategy was even that bad. That's just a possibility.
Before that.
Cater beat him. Didn't he? Cater beat him in a decision, if I'm not mistaken?
I think it was.
I don't know if that was the last fight that he had.
To somebody else before that, and he might not have.
He might have.
But Bryce should have shot at least at 10. Made him think about it, so then you can see if he's.
So the first round, that was relatively quickly.
He kept going back. At that point, man, dude's coming on top of that. Yeah. Dude, he hit him so hard.
That's rough. And Bryce sometimes will leave his chin up. That was a scary fight. And right before that, he beat Ige, who kind of has a similar style in the stand-up at times. You know, the way that he'll kind of throw and go with the hooks and a lot of power. But Josh Emmett's, there's levels to the game.
Yeah, and it's...
Yeah, Movsar. Definitely good.
He had Allen reaching so hard. He was overreaching. I'm like, man, I get it. You're trying to hit him, but this dude is really playing the game with you right now.
And he's sharp, dude. I don't know. Like, I guess... He's so good. Like, I haven't even realized that he's not finished anybody in the UFC. Like I said, they're all decisions, but they're all fun fights. They're all relatively dominant performances. And this one being such a big step up.
But now, Allen he had good counter wrestling. He was countering his
no, he was scrambling his fucking ass off. Movsar just stuck to him like glue. Yeah, I love scrambles, and I love seeing something like
he's not going to roll again, and then he rolled again.
Dude, he's like, he can't roll, and he fucking rolled. And he just rolled straight with him, dude. And he was on that motherfucker like clothes.
It was
good shit. It was a good one.
The next one, Chris Curtis and Power Bar. Barrio?
Yeah,
Barrialt, yep. I like Chris Curtis. Wholesome dude.
I'm a fan of Chris Curtis.
I like everything about it.
Didn't love the fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it didn't suck, but it was a bit more of a sparring match.
Yes, it was a split decision.
I think Chris Curtis got the split decision. I felt like I agreed with that. It was just a hard round the rounds were kind of pitter-patter. I felt like Chris ended it bigger, especially at the very end, kind of wanted to stand and bang a bit. Then he kind of took the mic and was like, "Bam, Canada, we were going to war and y'all wanted more." And it's like, I don't know if you go, you watch it back, But, I don't know. It was a serviceable fight. I don't have a ton to say on it. Was either got ranked going into that.
I don't.
Let's see. What weight is that at? Is that also middleweight?
Yeah, it was middleweight.
Chris Curtis was 14. Barrio does not.
I don't think he was ranked.
Does not appear to be ranked. Chris was 14. Honestly, he could probably stay at 14 after that. I don't see him moving around too much. I don't know as far as matching each guy up next. I don't know. It's
It's weird when the fight's not just popping, when it ain't just going up there and giving your absolute.
I feel like a lot of the guys above Chris, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these dudes look like they're kind of booked up. So I'm not sure. Maybe like Jack Hermanson, he's fighting Piper. These guys are. Imavov is booked. Paul Craig, maybe Paul Craig. I don't know. Paul Craig. Paul Craig would be essentially right above him. He's 12. If Chris is at 14, that could be a fun fight. Or did Craig just move up to light heavyweight? Am I tripping about that, or was he? I know he just moved up. Somewhere, but I don't know if
I thought he did go fight somewhere else.
Yeah, but I don't know if maybe he moved up
Paul
to
Craig.
middleweight.
I like the way he fights.
Yeah, no, Paul Craig's fun as fuck. But yeah, I don't know. Just somebody. Chris Curtis is fun. I'm not hating on the guy, but not the funnest fight. Not a lot to say on it.
Now, the next one got crazy. That was
kind of crazy.
Proper versus.
Hey, son.
Proper was sunning him. He really was.
I'm going to go ahead and put this in down right now. Early contender for comeback of the year. Yes. Neil Magny, motherfucker. And I had picked him a lot to win it. Not because I didn't think Magny could get it done, but I just wondered, where's your headspace at? The Ian Gary thing, the build up to the fight was shitty for you. And the fight itself was not good. Yeah, you got battered up.
He's been there in like that gatekeeper that they kept saying. Yeah. But he knows how to fight, man. He's
very good. He's very good, and he gets guys out of there. And one of the ways that he does it is he weaponizes the pace. Now, this one, he really didn't weaponize the pace. He kind of just rope-a-doped it. You know what I mean? Kind of just took a fucking licking, kept on ticking, and then got to where Mike Malone. I think Mike Malone just gassed out the first 10 minutes. And dude, because I thought he was going to make some magic happen, and I think he thought he was going to.
And when he got on top of him I was like, dude. You could just see how tired Mike Malone was. He was just dropping bombs on. I was like, man.
He ended up getting TKO, correct? Yeah. He didn't give it a submission.
No, it was a TKO.
Yeah, I know you finished him off in the third.
In 4:45 was the time in the third.
4:45. Okay, so 15 seconds left. Yeah. That's right. God damn it, dude. And that's buzzer beater shit.
I've never fought in a cage like that with the time going, but you would think if my coaches see me getting beat up, hey, you got 15 seconds. Just hold on.
Yeah.
You win the fight.
But he's holding on. And that's,
hands, I don't know, move. When
it's one of those things, man, you're here, as soon as you open up to grab, you're grabbing some elbows to that goddamn forehead. It's tough. And also, how good are you hearing? You know what I mean?
Right.
You got a bunch of fans are screaming. There's 15 seconds. You're covering up. You probably can't even hear over the sound of your heart beating at that point. That motherfucker, and you could see him laying down, dude. The way he was looking up was almost like he was surprised you could even get that tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can just imagine the fucking level of exhaustion he had to have been in at that point, man. 10 minutes. 10 minutes doesn't sound very long, but dude, and you also have an adrenaline dump. Dude, you're fucking, the people are cheering, dude, you're fucking them up. You got it. And then, dude, it just turns around, and you feel this fucker picking you up, and you're thinking about it. You're like, oh, it's over. And then he gets on you, he's hitting you, and you're trying to scramble, and it's not getting anywhere because you forget, I'm fighting Neil Magny. I'm not just tired fighting the dude in the gym. I'm also like fighting Neil Magny, who just took everything I had to give him. So super impressive performance. I like that for Neil. I like Neil Magny.
I do too.
I'm not like just the hugest fan. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. But yeah, it was good to see that. I hated how things went for him with the Ian Gary thing. So it was great.
And one thing about Malott, he had some good leg kicks. Man, he was tearing
him up, dude. So I don't know. I mean, I've been watching Neil Magny for years. This is not his fucking fourth fight in the UFC.
Right.
He's one of the most tenured guys in the division. Have leg kicks always been an issue? Is this a new? There's no way the last two fights he's had have been the first guys that have kicked at his legs. But dude, Ian Gary butchered his legs. Yeah. Mike Malott was putting it on his legs. So I don't know if it's a thing where maybe no one's ever
his legs
seen it was that big of a thing, and maybe after these two fights, people are just targeting it more. But I find it hard to believe that these are the first two leg kickers he's faced.
Right.
Maybe I'm just forgetting other guys in the past that have kicked his legs up and really taking advantage of that. But I feel like if there was as big a hole as it has seen the last two fights, you would assume he would. Which I guess he won the last one, But you know what I'm saying? It seems to be an odd, glaring hole. Especially in the modern UFC that we have, leg kicks are everywhere. You know what I mean? So you definitely got to wonder what's happened there. Maybe he's just taking more damage to it over time, or maybe just not checking. Because I don't think he was checking that many of them.
No, he wasn't. And the commentators, they were saying, once your legs get beat up, it's easier for them to get beat up the next time.
That is true. And you got to think about that, man. It's like an injury, So as far as booking Neil Magny, I don't really know. A lot of the guys above him are booked. I really don't want to see him fight too much above him, honestly. You could probably just, I guess, gatekeeper him again. Maybe, have him fight. Like, he's already fought Chiesa. Chiesa beat him.
The only way to give him somebody above him is he's got to stack up a couple in a row versus people that are coming up.
And a lot of these dudes are booked or have beaten him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he's fought Kevin Holland, but I would honestly Kevin Holland.
He's fixing to fight.
He's about to fight MVP. Goddamn. So yeah, JDM. Like, a lot of these dudes are booked up. Steven Thompson. I don't know if they might have fought in the past. I mean, both those dudes have been in for so long that it's, but that might be.
Colby keeps calling for Steven.
Yeah.
Steven Thompson.
And honestly, I'd rather see that fight anyway. So I don't know. Who's that scary Russian fucker? I think he's ranked 15th in the division. I'm gonna butcher his name. Rinat Fakhratadinov. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This big. Let me pull him up. This scary fucker. Yeah. 21-1. He just had that draw with Dos Santos. Maybe that. Maybe that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty nasty.
Somebody around him in the rankings. I think that'd be a fun fight for Magny moving forward. As far as Mike Malott, just gotta go back to the drawing board.
You got to get your
fight another unranked guy. Kind of see what goes on there and understand, because it's only his second loss. He was 10-1-1 coming into it. So I think it'll be good for him. I think that he was with Team Alpha Male for a minute there and kind of switched up. So I wonder where he's going in terms of gym wise, if he'll go back to Team Alpha Male, if there was anything personal there. But I think that he's a young guy. He'll figure some shit out off of that. I doubt this hurts him too much.
Let's see. Next, Pennington.
Co-main event.
Pennington looked okay. She didn't look bad.
No.
She looked pretty good for her. It was her. I feel like that was her standard, her typical fight.
Yeah,
her punches didn't look as powerful as they used, because usually she
had a little thump to her, and she was popping my ear a couple times. She lost the first round or two, right? If I'm thinking right, Buena Silva maybe one round or so.
First round I would have gave probably to Silva. The second round, you could have went maybe either way, but and it was just not.
Each round just went. Yeah, no, I remember after round 3, like, dude, she got real tired. Now I heard something before this that I had not heard prior. I had heard that somebody had said that apparently Buena Silva gets super, super nervous before fights. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the ADHD medication that she takes, because I know that she's talking about having like ADHD and having, I think, maybe some anxiety. Because she's coming off a suspension. She had like Ritalin or something in her system.
Right. I remember that.
And I know she normally says she stops taking it. So I wondered coming into it, and this is what made me go with Pennington on my predictions. I went with a little bit of a vibey pick.
Right.
Was I wondered, how does that fear and nervousness hit her in her first ever UFC title fight? Big deal like this, fighting somebody like Pennington, and dude, she looked fucking petrified coming to the ring, dude. Like, I don't know if I just recognized it more than I have in other of her fights, because I knew about this going into this one or not. But dude, she literally looked like she was gonna cry as Bruce Buffer was calling her. He kept like doing this and like frantically, like she was like saying, "Give me something," like trying to get him to will her into it. Mm-hmm. But when he fucking hit her name, dude, a switch flipped and she fucking screamed, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I thought at that point I was like, "Oh, I fucked up."
Her last fight, she looked crazy good.
Yeah, dude, she's super talented. And I thought at that moment when I saw how game I was like, "Oh, maybe I fucked up."
Yeah.
And I didn't, dude.
No, you did.
Fucking tortoise in the hair, man. Similar thing to the Magny thing, it just happened way faster. Yeah. You know what I mean? She just
started getting bullied and got so tired, laying on the ground. They were like, "How can you just sit there and lay on the ground in a title fight? This does not look good for you. Even if you are tired,
not at all.
You cannot just lay there." Like, I mean, really, Pennington should have backed up and
made her stand,
right?
You know, but honestly, at that point, Buena Silva does have some crack in her hands. You know, you almost risk her getting up and hitting you with a fucking 1-2 or barrage, and you throwing a flying knee, something.
And then really, the ref could have been like, "Hey, back up,
dude." Honestly, stand there, kick her in the fucking legs, make her look bad. It shows I'm fighting you to the end. Also, I'm stalling. You can't get up. I'm gonna burn this clock out. I'm taking it.
Right.
I know there's gonna be a lot of Pennington hate, or people that are just gonna disregard it. Oh, she's only got the belt because fucking Amanda stepped away. Yeah, that's how that fucking works. You know what I mean? She's gone, dude. I'm not trying to fucking be a dick rider for Rocky right now, but this is a feel-good moment, and I feel like we should embrace it. This is not like a Carla Esparza boring bullshit win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, this is a legitimate. She fought who she was supposed to fucking fight. Somebody that a lot of people, I would think she had to have been an underdog coming into the fight, and she did the damn thing. She had a Rocky moment. She won the fight. She held it out. So I don't know how long she defends it. I think that she fights Pena next. And that should be a fun one in and of itself. Whenever that comes up, I don't know how quickly she can turn around. She really didn't take a lot of damage. I know that Pena's injured, but I don't know if she could be ready and they could turn that one around for UFC 300. Add another title fight to that one, kind of stack up.
I don't know what
a couple of them
for that card. It's Sean O'Malley was like, if Connor's not on that, you're stupid.
I've seen the two sides of that because I can see where he does need to be UFC 300, but they also can argue Connor's going to sell. You could sell Connor on whatever fight.
Right.
That fucker could fight,
But and then I didn't like that Sean was like, you got to make him. You got to make on 300. You got to make him the main event. You can't do that. He hasn't won a fight. In this long.
Yeah, but it also feels weird to have him on the card and not have him in the main event.
Yeah,
right?
I
International fight week, I don't hate it, but it is kind of weird, and I wonder if they're going to make it a pay-per-view. And it's non-number.
He announced that week, but then somebody else, I think it was Errol Hawani, and somebody was like, I heard from it, the way it's coming off as his coach, they're just lying. Like, they're actually going to announce him on 300, and I was like, oh.
Okay, because they might wait for that on 300 just to announce when his fight is. I don't know. Or are you saying like they're going to announce he's fighting at 300?
That he is fighting 300.
Yeah, and they might do that, dude. Who knows? I don't know if I'm buying that video that he did, the whole fucking it's so tough to ever goddamn know what's coming from him. This fight's been booked so many times. But I doubt it's going to be at 185. I don't see that happening.
Regardless of who he fights, if he fights, it doesn't matter what weight you fight Chandler at, he's losing. I'm just keeping it. Chandler bullying him.
Oh, I thought you were saying it doesn't matter what weight Chandler fights at, he's going to lose.
No, it doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I don't.
Connor and Chandler.
He's got to catch him early, and he can. He cracks. You know what I mean? What he did to Cowboy. But and Chandler also will dump all fight IQ out of the window. A couple times in any fight, he will go ahead and dump that. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm going to rely on raw athleticism and fucking.
And he can take. He's cracked. He's gonna take
power. You know what I mean?
Down if you crack him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, and when he takes you down, he's gonna run and fucking jump and land on his own neck, dude. Yeah. When he slammed Gaethje and like broke his own neck, like almost knocked himself out. So no, I don't know. That fight's gonna be first team all fucking violence though. Super excited about that. Very, very pumped. That's gonna be chaotic. The whole thing, dude. Connor's definitely off the juice, or coming off of some juice. For sure he's been on it, so I don't know. I'm excited.
He's going to sit at 85.
I think he's bullshitting. And I think he also might be trying to get Chandler to... Because Chandler is almost like such a yes man that like Connor is running the dance. He's just like, hey, we're doing 85. And Chandler's like, fuck yeah, we'll do 85. Let's do 85. And he starts like bulking and drinking his protein shakes. And then Connor's like, actually, it'll be 155. And he's like, fuck yeah, 155. And he starts like throwing up and just like, just like, Connor's leading the dance. He fucking won all the little mental exchanges on the show when they first met, and he was like, "They told you to wait. It's 185," and he's like, "I like 185. I'll do 185." He's like, "You'll do what you're told." And I'm like, "Oh, you will though," and you're showing that because then Chandler just kind of like was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Come on."
And see, and then it's like, does Chandler even really? The dude don't even care about mind games. He just wants you to get in there and fight with him.
Yeah, and dude, he's gonna make a bag, and he knows he's got a good, I would say a 60-40 shot at the very least of winning that fight. You know what I mean? Like stylistically, I guess it does play into Connor's thing too because he could catch you with a bomb coming in, and you do get sat down. If Charles Oliveira is sitting you down, Conor McGregor, I think a lot of people sometimes forget about shit. You know what I mean? Like, they hate on him. The motherfucker can still crack. You know what I mean? He's got power. He's not going to lose that. He knows how to throw a left hand. So, and I don't know if Chandler is necessarily the same task as Dustin Poirier was. You know what I mean? He loses a couple times to DP, and people think that Chandler's just going to completely fuck him. I think that he still probably fucks him, but Chandler is not. I mean, Dustin Poirier beat Chandler. You know what I'm saying? Like, MMA math doesn't always add up, but losing to Dustin Poirier, but I guess what I'm getting at is not always like a mark of death. Oh, this guy can't fucking fight because DP knocked him out. Motherfucker, Dustin Poirier knocks a lot of dudes out. You know what I mean? You have to fucking. Is that your bar?
He's got to be. I mean, he's top 5 favorite fighters of all time.
You got to, man. You got to. When motherfucker gets to pull him shorts up, when he gets to, hey, come here, young fella. Hey, when he has that little hand swing, there's dudes that have the little signature shit, right? Hey, when TJ Dillashaw, when it used to get sunny, when he went to block in the shade, short night for you, bro. You about to get kicked in the goddamn neck. But I don't know. I would say with the Pennington thing, defending against Pena should be a fun fight.
Pena might win.
Whenever they get it booked. Yeah, I don't know. She's kind of honestly, dude. If Rocky wins the next defense, I see her probably retiring. Yeah. I mean, like she could retire. I didn't know.
Regardless of what happens, she would probably retire.
Yeah.
If she loses, I won the belt. I did what I wanted to do. I won.
That is dope, though. Hey, super happy for her and Tisha getting to see that.
Right.
In the main event.
In the main event.
Enemy got squirrely.
Yeah, so it's split decision for Duplessis.
Okay.
I had Sean win the first one. And what's weird is, first round. And I had Sean winning the second as well.
Because it seems like that's the round that it comes down to. The second round seems to be the swing round.
Yeah. Now I saw some people say they gave him 1, 3, and 5, and you could have given him 3 if you didn't. The takedowns. If granted he didn't do anything with some of the takedowns, but he did take him down. So I was like, that's why I said
in a real physical
that's
manner.
why I said okay, you can give 3 to Duplessis, but if you just all you have to take him down, he didn't do anything, then it's like, well, Sean
was
did
that the second round that he got like 1 takedown? Sean was able to kind of pop up pretty quickly though.
I think they actually gave him 2 because he took him down up and then took him down again. And
he kind of got back up.
Right. But so for me, I didn't really even count either of those as a take. He didn't do
a whole lot with it. Yeah, and didn't really even get super dominant.
So that's why I said Sean won 1 and 2. I gave 3 and 4, definitely 4 to Dricus.
Yeah, same.
3, I mean, really, if you take away him not doing a whole lot with the takedowns, you could have gave Sean 1, 2, 3, and 5.
3 was tougher. I felt like Dricus was starting to put together some bigger shots. He was starting to walk Sean down.
I think that's when he cut him the first time was in 3.
Yeah, and so visually kind of things started really looking good for Dricus. I gave Dricus 3. I gave Sean 1 and 2. And I remember whenever I was watching it live, I thought Sean won the first 2 like rather handily. Like I guess the second was close, but I still gave it to Sean.
The only thing that was close about it was the number of strikes.
It was like 17 and 18.
But he was hitting him harder.
Yeah.
It was
I felt like he had the cleaner shit.
Swelling him up.
So I gave him 1 and 2. Thought Dricus clearly got 3 and 4. I had it tied going into the 5th.
Right.
5th round was close too. Still gave it to Sean. I thought Sean was landing the harder shit. I thought Sean was coming forward.
He hit him harder. He did. And I hated that he couldn't push the way he typically does. That threw him off.
Yeah.
And
Dricus is a big fucker, dude.
On TikTok, I asked people who were watching it, what did you guys think? And they were like, "Oh, Sean, you could tell Sean definitely lost. He just looked like he did, like he knew he lost when it was over." And to me, I don't think he looked like he lost. I think he looked like, damn, I couldn't walk him down like I usually do.
Yeah.
And so I didn't perform the way I should have performed, like I perform all the time in sparring. I always walk people down. And, I mean, Dricus did his thing, but to me, go back to what comment you made earlier, if you don't handedly beat the champion, you shouldn't take his belt.
It's hard.
And I didn't think he handedly beat him.
Yeah.
I thought if it's that close, we're 2 and 2. If it comes down to split decision, I think that unless it's the last round, it's a clear he beat him up. I thought you give it to Sean.
It's a difficult one, especially if you're having to go round by round. You know, I don't know like how that would even fit into a scoring criteria. Do you just give a close round?
And the blood it never stopped leaking, so to me you can't count.
You had that damage that kind of carries over. Man. You know, I really feel like 3, 4, you started to see, and even some in the end of 2. I feel like Sean. Maybe the last minute or 2 of round 2 is when Dricus kind of the shift started to Dricus started to kind of control the center of the octagon more. But I still felt like Sean had done enough in the early parts of that round, and then it feels like you have kind of from the very end of round 2 all the way through 3 and 4 that Dricus is kind of walking forward. Round 5 they're kind of trading back and forth, and it seems like Sean kind of he starts going for the teep kicks again, starts bringing those back up to the stomach, and kind of. I felt like he had pulled away with it. I gave it 1, 2, and 5 to Sean, and now here's where it's sticky too, because now it seems like Izzy's coming back. It feels like he's talking about coming back.
Because let's see, Pereira called him out to come back.
Yeah, the whole might go down to middleweight, and sometimes he's a little bit cheeky, a little.
But he was like, "Come get the belt at light heavyweight. Come get it off me now. Let's fight again." Yeah, no.
Talking about Izzy. Yeah, okay, he called Izzy out. I thought you were talking about he called Dricus out because he did the whole might be a time for one last rodeo at middleweight.
Yeah, see, so Dricus thought Fajeda was going to call him out.
Yeah.
He thought he was ready to fight. He was going to come in the cage and fight him at middleweight. But when Fajeda beat, who'd he beat for the belt?
Yuri Prochazka.
So when he beat him, he was like, Izzy, come back. I want to fight you. You can come fight me at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
I'll see if you can get this belt. And I was like, oh.
I wonder what Izzy wants to do. So I guess that is still kind of like a
and then it's like, now Dricus is like, Izzy, I'll fight you. He said Fajeda. And I think he also said, Hamzat is in there too.
Yeah, that's kind of because I've seen people say that Izzy will come back and fight Hamzat, that he's not even coming back right to an immediate title fight.
I'm going to tell you, I don't think he wants that.
wants to fight Hamzat.
Yeah, I don't think you want that.
I wonder how that would go. That would be a super interesting matchup, just because. Who was Hamzat's last fight against? Was that
Usman.
That's right. God damn, that was a good fight.
It was.
We see that he'll get a little bit sloppy, and I just wonder how that.
But he also cut weight, and he don't like cutting weight a whole lot. So put him in one.
I just wonder how Izzy deals with that wrestling attack, because it's such an onslaught. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, he's looked good. He's stopped other dudes from trying to take him down, but I would argue that in terms of physicality and wrestling and the way that it would be presented to him,
right off,
he has never fought somebody.
No.
Now, granted, we thought Yoel was going to do certain shit. We thought Yoel would have a way to explode through him and really bullet for takedowns, and he didn't. We've never seen Hamzat come out and do any kind of little like, that motherfucker's coming to go.
Yeah,
and we saw how Izzy like kind of froze up against Sean Strickland. You know what I mean? So like, if he gets caught with something out of the gate, because Hamzat loves coming out, throwing that right cross and shooting it. He has such good technique on the way he just ducks in and just fucking gets to the legs. That knee slide, the penetration he gets on his takedowns. So I don't know. And you like Jan Blachowicz was able to take Izzy down. So that's a much larger guy, but still the idea of the physicality that Hamzat has. I don't think that he's as strong as Jan Blachowicz necessarily, but especially early on, y'all are both dry. He's able to throw and get in on you and grab a hold of you. I don't know. I would probably favor Hamzat in that fight. I would say it's really close to a 50-50 draw.
If you give,
but yeah, no, I would be very interested.
Let's say it ain't Hamzat. Let's say Duplessis fights Israel. I think Izzy beats him.
I think Izzy beats DDP.
I think he pieces him. Stretches
I
out.
think that
DDP. Sean was hitting him with a jab.
Yeah.
Izzy has a better jab, in my opinion.
No, Izzy's so much more dynamic on the outside, and I also think that the way that Duplessis was able to take Till down. I don't know if he took Whitaker down or if he just dropped Whitaker on the feet, but the way that he took Strickland down, they're ugly takedowns, and he gets them from just like weird spots. And he's really physical. I don't think like the way that Izzy, I don't know if his takedown defense stands up to Hamzat maybe a couple times. I think if he chain wrestles, he gets taken down. I think that the Duplessis level of wrestling, Izzy has seen that guy, seen guys like that very well.
John stopped a couple of them.
And I think that he probably stuffs the shit out of Duplessis, and Duplessis then has to fight him on the feet. And even if he tries to bulldoze forward, I think he gets kind of done like Paulo Costa got done.
What's crazy
you know what I mean?
is Duplessis hit him with like 4 question mark kicks, weird kicks, and was just hitting him, and he was taking it. And I was like, oh man, and they get saying like, oh, he's hit him with that a few times. I'm thinking, man, you got to block that.
Yeah, he had a couple sneaky kicks getting through, but also so did Sean. Like Sean had a lot of shots where the right hand was coming through, and Duplessis was blocking it. He was getting a partial block. But that motherfucker Sean thumps. There's like a narrative out there that Sean doesn't have power or that he has pillow hands or some shit, and I don't know where the fuck that comes from. Because the dude can bang. He hits harder than you think he would hit. He knocked Brendan Allen the fuck out.
Straight. He's throwing straight as an arrow.
It's beautiful.
It's going right through his guard. Wow.
And Sean talked about that. He's like, what I do so well is I hide body language. I don't give reads. I'm not fucking reaching out. I'm right here. And then bam, when I'm throwing the shot, it's just coming out straight. If I'm throwing a hook, it's all kind of coming from the same spot.
Right.
And you don't know, and his straight shots and his jab in particular is so good. He fucking dropped Izzy, banged on Izzy. So the idea that Sean can't hit hard, and he even says that. He's like, I guess I hit like a pussy. And I'm like, dude, you killed Brandon Allen. You know Brendan Allen. So it's like, Sean can fucking pop. I mean, he swole Drekis' eye all the way up.
Yeah.
I will say this dude, Sean called that. He's like, I hope that when we're done, win or lose, we're both fucking bloody. Dries wasn't bleeding just a bunch, but that eye swole all the way shut, busted up a little bit. Sean bleeding like a motherfucker. Beautiful stuff. I mean, it was a good fight.
He got two of the cuts. I think the nose one. I think for I know he got cut like on his eye. Sean did, but I thought he had a cut up here. I think that came from the headbutt.
It looked like there was a neck, but I didn't know if that was blood that maybe he had wiped off in the middle of the fight.
He went down, and when he came back up, it looked like it threw blood up on his head. It was like a straight line. I was like, God, where'd the blood come from?
Yeah.
And then I realized it was a headbutt. I think later on, somebody said something, and I was like, or they played it back, and you could see him smack heads, and I was like, oh, maybe that's a cut right there.
Yeah. See, to me, it looked like whenever they had headbutted, it looked like that maybe was what cut him above the eyelid, because it looked like Drekis' head came up and banged him right here, and then he started leaking a bunch out of that. But then on the fights, they showed the right hand landing, and they're like, he got him with the right hand.
See, the right hand cut him like right here.
Yeah.
And what I hated that he kept trying to wipe that blood. He was wiping it in.
Yeah.
Instead of taking his glove and wiping it out of his eye, he would wipe it in. And I was like, dude, you're blinding yourself right now. And you're really, but
Well, the thing with
never been
the
cut up
blood
like
is
that.
so tough because it's not like water. It's got like an oily. It's gonna it just gets in your shit. Like you can't do. And dude, it's such a frustrating. Like you get some shit in your eyes. You just can't do anything about it. Even if you're trying to like wipe with your hands, like your hands are nasty. You're fucking fighting. You got blood on your hands. You're just wiping blood with blood. You try to wipe with your glove. Your glove probably is covered in his blood and your blood.
Yeah, it was.
It's no good, man. But dogfight. Let me see. Let's look at the rankings real quick. Who do you match Sean with? If Sean doesn't get an immediate rematch, which I don't think he will,
Dana does said he wasn't.
I don't feel like he necessarily deserves it. I hate that he lost. I don't necessarily agree with the loss.
I would be okay if they gave him a rematch because it was close. And if Dana says he had it 2-1 or he had it, 3-2 for Sean, I wouldn't be. It'd be okay if, in my opinion, if you gave him. But he also, like you said, he didn't have any. Title defenses. You probably give him Izzy, honestly. If Izzy wants to come back.
So you would go Hamzat fights Duplessis in that case, or would you go? Because like Izzy's number 1, DDP is the champion. I would assume Sean will probably be number 2 now. Whitaker's already booked to fight Costa.
I actually think that I heard somewhere that they told Hamzat he got the winner.
Okay, and honestly, that would be fair. Okay, here's how I would book it. You go ahead and give Hamzat DDP.
He beats him.
I think he beats DDP. That's fucking fun, though. Those are both 2 bulls that are going to come forward. Because if Hamzat tries to shoot, you'll notice with DDP, he's been fighting more reserved lately.
Yeah.
Not quite as ballistic as he did before. Kind of got a little ballistic on Robert Whitaker. Kind of smashed his absolute shit, and that was crazy. But in this fight, and I think it was kind of being 5 rounds, he knew, hey, I got to pace a little bit more. 3 and 4, though, you saw him coming forward and chunking fucking bones. But there was a couple times, even in round 1 and 2, when Strickland would land a hard, like 1-2, and kind of be in the pocket for a second. Duplessis would throw back. You'd see him. He wants that fucking smoke. So I could definitely see a situation where Hamzat comes in ready to go, and they both kind of fucking really meet in the middle like 2 bulls. That would be fun. That also gives you a shot where, like, you can put the belt on Hamzat. They've wanted to do that for a minute. And then, like, you have Izzy and Sean run the rematch. You know what I mean? Have y'all do a 5-round rematch. Winner gets the title shot. Strickland holds a bit of a claim to it because of how that went. I think that, if Whitaker beats Costa and Strickland comes back and beats Izzy, it's hard to fucking pass. Whitaker, you got to wait again. You know what I mean? Especially after the loss that he had to DDP. It's not like you're keeping Whitaker on ice. After a loss like that, you might have to beat Costa and get another win. You know what I mean? Or at the very least, be cool waiting. If Strickland beats Izzy or Izzy beats Strickland, either way, I think you could easily have a situation. Hamzat gets the winner, fights DDP, Strickland Izzy rematch. You could really, I don't know when they could run that.
And then it also depends on if Izzy wants to come back and fight at 185 or go to 205.
Yeah, I guess that is the other situation.
And then if Hamzat wins, let's say they gave Hamzat to DDP. Let's say Hamzat wins, and then he says, I want to fight for the title at 170 because he can do that.
Yeah,
now you're a champion, and now you can directly.
Things could get kind of held up. But I guess
then they would probably do a interim.
Fight
an interim.
So depending on how they do it, if they are going to give it to Hamzat, and if Izzy is not going to come back and fight at middleweight, in that situation, I would say Strickland fights the winner of Whitaker Costa, maybe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Costa, you've been out for so fucking long. You've had so many fall through fights. Even if you come back and beat Whitaker.
Last person he fought was
who was his last fight?
Rocco, wasn't it?
Was that? I think that was his last fight. God, that was a fun fight, dude. Here's the thing about my boy Costa. I love Costa fights, and I'm excited.
I love his tweets.
Dude, the fucking secret juice. Dude, my thing is like, with the way that the fucking it is Costa, isn't it? That Whitaker's booked against.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm clicking on them. Neither one of that's not on the UFC's website. That they're not. That neither one of these guys have an upcoming fight booked.
So what I usually do is I usually go.
But Tapology might have something. Sherdog might have something. I know that it's been rumored, but then I also saw some shit where they were saying they've not signed an actual contract. I think Costa was saying, but it's again, he's one of those dudes. You never know what to believe or not believe.
No, it's booked. Co-main for February 17th.
Okay, fuck yeah, and that's right around the corner. I guess they had to have signed on it. So, I think that's one you could do. The winner of that, I think definitely would need to beat somebody like Sean Strickland to really solidify fighting the winner of Hamzat DDP.
Because both of them have already lost
down the road.
Izzy.
Yeah, to Izzy.
Roberts lost
depending on what Izzy
twice,
wants to
2
do.
or 3 times already.
Yeah.
That was It's crazy. It really, they need to just go ahead and hurry up and announce 300 and get that out of the way so people can quit wondering who's going to be.
Yeah.
So then we can move on to the next ones because it's.
I'm excited. I'm super stoked, dude. We got a bunch of really fun shit coming up this year.
Poirier versus what's his name? Saint Denis.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to think there.
Benoit Saint Denis, correct? Yeah. Dude, that's a shit fight for DP. Not bad in terms where I think he's gonna lose, but it's a real no-win matchup in my opinion because it's like
I don't think I've seen that dude fight like once.
Oh, he's a fucking dog. No, he's got a couple fights. He just killed Matt Favola.
Former.
I think he was spec ops in the French military.
Okay,
he's a bad man.
Yes.
So it's a thing where and he's a young cat coming up.
So
DP's a little bit on that last year or two.
I wonder why he accepted that because he said he's only going to accept fights that really get his blood going.
I mean, I think it's a thing where a hardcore fan's delight, and I think DP's a real motherfucker, and he knows hey, if I beat this dude, I'll show the hardcores I'm not just a guy that beat Conor a couple times.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people have tried to come back and say that, oh, he's not really that good. He beat a washed up Conor twice, and y'all want to act like he's something. No, DP is kind of showing people. Who was his last fight? He was it the BMF? Yeah, he just got knocked out. Yeah, Dustin.
He got kicked in the head.
Yeah, last fight was against Justin.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh fuck, dude.
Before that, it was Chandler, I think.
Chandler, yeah, and that was a good fight. That was a fun fight. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough little matchup. But who's the next weekend's card? Let's go ahead and try to pull that up. We might hit a couple little.
So I got it right here already.
Okay, yeah. What we got? What's next weekend looking like?
February 3rd is Roman Dolidze. The main is Roman Dolidze versus Nassourdine Imavov.
Okay.
That's the main, but I'll run through all the fights with you. Jamal Pogues, whatever his name is, Thomas Peterson, it's the first one. Landon Quinones, Markel Medeiros. Landon was on The Ultimate Fighter this year.
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of him.
Is that the Hispanic dude that had the fucking little slick?
Yeah, and he was like, I'm the best fighter here, you know.
Yeah. kind of mean looking dude.
Yeah,
okay.
He's lightweight. Yeah, he was lightweight. Luana Carolina versus Stolyarenko.
Okay.
Blake, I'm gonna say Builder, Bilder.
Yeah.
Jiang Lee.
Okay, I'm not familiar with his opponent. Builder's fun. I like Builder.
Thimba Garimbo, Pete Rodriguez.
Thimba Garimbo got to be a fake name, right?
No,
Thimba Garimbo, not a way, dude.
I believe that's gonna be an African country of some sort.
Yeah, dude. No disrespect though.
No, but that's
Thimba Garimbo.
I just assume that's what the flag is.
Yeah.
Charles Johnson, Azad Maxim. He's undefeated. Golly, 17-0. That's a flyweight one. Then we got Meatball, Molly McCann, Deanna Belbita. That ought to be I feel like that's going to be a pretty cool fight. Charles Radke, Gilbert Urbina. Gilbert Urbina was also on The Ultimate Fighter.
I like Gilbert Urbina. Big pothead, dude. Shouts out to Weed. You guys ever heard of Weed before?
Mahmoud Muradov.
Oh, yeah. Mahmoud Muradov.
Ali Skab Khrizrev. I guess I don't know how you say his last name.
Names, yeah.
So
no, that'll be a good
he's also undefeated.
Okay, that'll be a good little matchup.
Natalia Silva, Vivian Arujao.
Arujo, yeah. No, that'll be a fun one. Is Silva ranked? I know that Arujo should be ranked. Let me pull this up.
Sometimes it tells you when they're ranked, but it does not tell me currently.
Where's the... Wait a minute.
You got Randy Brown and Muslim Salikov. I like Randy Brown. I like watching him
Randy
play.
Brown, Rude Boy. He's fighting Salikov?
Yes.
Okay.
And then you got Drew Dober and Renato Moicano.
Fuck yeah, dude. That'll be a good fight. I think Drew Dober will ice him, but it'll be one of those things where it's going to be a fun, 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Just random time put on that. But yeah, I think it'll be the first round. They're going to bang for a bit and Drew Dober sleeps him up. Naimava versus Dolidze is fun too. That's a good one. We'll have to put some predictions together, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't even know who.
I'm definitely going to want to watch some tape and do some more research because this is the first time I've been looking at the fights. We'll get some predictions together. We'll send them to each other. Let me pull up a little scoreboard. So fuck yeah, you were up by 1 and now I'm up 7. So
yeah, that's great. I didn't.
The pay-per-views will jump up. We'll see big spikes on the pay-per-views after that because we were close in the first one and we were even. I guess this one was pretty decent just because I got the co-main or the two.
It would have if the Strickland fight went the other way.
That was tough. We would have been closer, probably tied up at that point, you know, or I would still be down a point. So yeah, that makes it interesting, and it's fun trying to really go through it, look at the stuff out. But yeah, I think that'll be fun. We'll kind of keep the scorecard thing going, and that'll be something we can kind of track throughout the whole deal.
Right.
But fuck yeah, man. I think that's about it.
Yeah. Just tell everybody that we have a TikTok. We made a TikTok. I'm gonna post clips of this, just short clips, on TikTok. And this is gonna go up on YouTube. Everybody just, hey, you don't want to like and subscribe, don't have to, but it'd be nice if you did.
Click them goddamn buttons. Boy, it ain't gonna take you no time.
Hit
it
the
helps
bell.
us out.
Hit
Do
the
it.
bell.
Seriously.
Hopefully, the plan is if we record these on Sunday, to definitely have them up by Wednesday, regardless of what day we record them, whether it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Have it up by Wednesday. So then we got the next 3 days for it to get viewed, or 3 or 4 days, and then keep that circle going around and around. Of course, if something comes up, something happens.
Yeah, it'll take us a little bit. Like this first one, we were gonna do the Ankalev Walker card, and we had a fucking ice storm, so we've kind of been pushed back from that. Shit's gotten a little weird. For the most part, though, we'll try to keep a decent little routine on it. It's gonna take us a bit, kind of figuring out some shit. We'll tweak stuff over the first couple episodes, but
like right now we're using one mic, just because I don't know specifically. I gotta toy some things in the future. He'll have a mic here in his hand so that he sounds perfectly clear. I'll have a mic over here so that I sound perfectly clear. Might even work on some lighting. I probably should turn this big light off. I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But
we'll fuck around with it, man. Yeah. We'll get some shit out. Big shout out to the boy Eric Cowan, made the intro video. If you guys need any work, I'll put him in the captions as well. Go and hit that guy up. He does logos, does intros. Solid guy. That's my fucking boy. Love you, Cummy.
Yeah, he did that thing. It was cool. Yep.
All right.